So we are back live. There was a little bit of a technical glitch. Yes, so we are back live. Little bit of a technical glitch. So we are going to continue. I think the last question was missed. That is, which is the best book to study? So it's an easy question to restart our session.
Yes. In fact, as I said, the best book to study would be the study material itself, because most of the questions which the institute asks for the exam would be based on the study material questions itself. Even if
Correct.
they are not picking the same questions, they will at least pick the adjustments from the same questions which are already there in the study material.
Yes.
So that is the best book which you can study. So apart from that, if you have time, then you can study other books.
Anything else to be referred apart from the study material?
Then the best answer would be again guideline answers.
Guideline answers.
So the ones released by the institute, you have the guideline answers here. These are the kind of guideline answers which the institute releases. So you can easily get it in any of
One question we get a lot, that is guideline answers you don't get in any online website.
Yes.
It is institute material. It is released only by institute. You have to take it only from the institute chapter office.
Yes.
But actually they also have over here, they say by registered post also they do give it. So if you call the institute landline and institute helpline, I'm sure they should be able to help you. So this is like 40 rupees every book with registered post 70 rupees. It is not available in any website. You should get it from ICSI.
Yeah.
If you have the nearest chapter office, you can get it, or you can call the helpline and find out how you can get it by post or registered post.
Yes.
Yes, and apart from that also, just though it may look like we are selling, but Vishwas has done a very good online course on accounts and auditing. If you want, you can take even chapter wise, we are selling it, you can get in touch with us. There's also a scroll down over here, no? You can get in touch with us over there.
And
so,
one more thing, if especially with regard to auditing, I would like to say this.
Yes.
If you haven't touched the auditing subject at all, please don't read the study material now.
Okay.
Instead, please read the practice manual which the institute has released. It's hardly about 60 pages. If you can read that for the auditing portion, I am very sure you can easily score about 20 out of 30 marks in auditing.
Great.
So practice manual only for auditing, not for accounts. When it comes to accounts, the practice manual problems are very tough, and institute 9 out of 10 times they will not ask questions from practice manual for accounts. But whereas for auditing, they pick the questions only or mostly from the practice manual and maybe from the previous attempts as well.
Yes.
So for auditing, once again, I'm repeating the same thing. Practice manual about 62 pages plus the guideline answers of past 4 to 5 attempts. It should be more than sufficient.
Yeah, and also it's a good deal. For 30 marks, you study this much. If you write well, you may get even about 20 out of 30.
Yes, definitely.
And that will help you a lot. In 70, you won't have a lot of pressure. So if you get 20 out of 30 in auditing, and in 70, even if you score 25 or 30, still you get above almost 50. So you should consider that how much time we have. So good. So sorry for the technical glitch, and we have many people joining us back. So we have Harish, Vignesh, Manjula, Sapna Shah, Swapnil. So thanks everybody. So we'll take your questions. So just give us some time. We have few more planned questions over here. Yes. So what about theory? How to study theory?
Yeah, just now answered your question. So
yeah. So I think you should be able to cover that. Then this one question we get a lot: should we study accounting standards? Because there are so many accounting standards, and you may get 4 marks, 5 marks.
Yeah, exactly.
Should I study that?
If you haven't touched the accounting standards chapter at all, please don't touch it now.
It's too late.
Yeah, it's too late. It's too huge a topic to be covered in a week or even a month.
And what you'll get is 4 to 5 marks.
5 marks. Usually they ask for about 5 marks.
Yes.
One accounting standard randomly picked from the 32. So it's very difficult to study now and expect to score 5 marks out of 5. If you are writing in December, I would say please go through the institute material.
Yes.
So if not, don't even bother about accounting standards.
Okay.
It's not worth the time now.
Okay, fine. So now we can start taking the online questions.
Sure.
So Rakshita, in fact, she has a lot of comments on our channel. So we'll take her question. Hello sir, how to manage 180 minutes efficiently to attempt 100 marks? How to allocate time for auditing and accounts? I've never been able to write for entire 100 marks till now.
Okay.
Okay. So this is a very good and practical question.
Right.
So what would you suggest?
I would suggest what I did for my exams. The very simple thing. First of all, start with those questions which are very easy for you.
Okay.
For example, I usually, I would start with consolidation and amalgamation. It covers 15 marks, and you can easily cover those two questions in 30 minutes.
Okay.
If you are not able to cover those two questions in 30 minutes, I would say please move ahead and attempt other questions. See, one thing students should know is they cannot invest more than 15 minutes of time per question. If you are investing more than 15 minutes or maybe 20 minutes in case you are writing slowly, you should move to the next question. It's not worth wasting more than 20 minutes per question, because there are other questions as well, and as I said, about 40 to 50 marks of theory questions will be there. You will have to write those theory answers. It will take a lot of time. So please don't waste too much of time on a single question. If you are not able to solve, leave sufficient pages so that you can come back and answer them later on and move to the next question. And even the first question, that is 25 marks question, it's about 5 questions of 5 marks each. All questions are compulsory, but this will be a theory question, mostly theory questions. And again, it takes a lot of time. If you think it will take too much of time, you can come back to it later on. Start with practical questions. It's less time consuming and you can easily score more marks in those type of questions. And for auditing, if you can devote at least about 30 to 40 minutes, that should be more than sufficient. But one thing you should remember, you should not be thinking in the exam hall. If you start thinking in the exam hall as to what is the answer for this, then I'm very sure you won't be able to cover all the 100 marks. So forget about the 180 marks, because there are internal choice. We do not have choice in accounts. All questions are compulsory, but we have internal choice, like answer 2A or 2 capital A.
Correct.
So whichever is possible. So in such cases, stick to the choice which I have already made. Take some time to read the entire paper and then stick to some choice, either 2A or 2A, like that. So
I want to tell even my experience. So since accounts was a little more challenging subject compared to law for me, what I used to do is first write the theory. Because that is lesser time. I used to be very well prepared with theory, study every page theory, make notes. But my preparation used to be much better, because that was my strong area. So what I used to do is, for 50 marks theory, I should try and finish it in 75 minutes itself, the first 75 minutes. So I still have 105 minutes or almost 2 hours, 1 hour 45 minutes for the practical questions. And practical questions, since it was a little more challenging subject, I will be slow in solving the answers. So that is why even if some answers I never used to get, or I should take extra time, somehow I would be able to write for 95 or 100 also. I used to write, and that used to help me to pass. And I should tell, in accounts there was only one 5 marks practical question which I got correct. Okay, and everything else was half correct. Still, I scored 52 in accounts in my executive. And now I am telling proudly, but that time it was a big challenge. So that was my approach. So Vishwas told this is approach. Everybody has their own
in conclusion,
approach.
what I can say is, concentrate on your strong point. For example, Alok's strong point is theory, my strong point is practical. So I would start with practicals, he would start with theory. So whichever is your strong point, start with that, so that you will consume less time initially and you will have extra time later on to cover the difficult questions, be it theory or practical.
Yeah, so there's Jalpa Vaishnav. Accounting standards practical is important or not? Shall I study only theory in accounting standards?
I would say you do not have time to study even the theory part.
If you have not yet studied, just 2-3 minutes ago Vishwas told, don't even touch it. It's too late.
It's too late. Only for December exam. If you are writing in December, then you can attempt it.
So Harish Shanbog, please suggest me important question for accounts and how to score 40 plus. Actually, we already covered it. So we had a small technical glitch. So earlier, before there was the technical glitch, we have discussed that. So you can watch it again. But just to recap, quickly,
to recap, consolidation, corporate restructuring, valuation, debentures. These 4 chapters.
Yeah, so I think that should be sufficient. Okay, so please tell us the two most important chapters in accounts which are easy.
You want important as well as easy chapters? So that would be a bit difficult to answer. But still, again, it's the same thing.
Yes.
All the same 4 chapters which I just now mentioned. Those are the important as well as easy as well, not very difficult.
Okay. So now again we have Devarajan. So you have been attending all our live sessions. So great. So and you are asking questions. Sir, handwriting is very important for exam. So Devarajan, I can tell you one thing. My handwriting is very bad, but I cleared the exam. Handwriting is not important. It should be legible. That's all. If your handwriting is bad, I can give you one tip. Give little more spacing when you write, and after 2 sentences leave one line, leave the line fully, go to the next line. Such things you can do, because in 7 days or even 7 months, difficult to change handwriting which you have been doing from class 1. So if your handwriting is bad, please don't worry, just write a little with space, little big, and leave a line, things like that. That should be good enough.
That reminds me of one thing. Even if your handwriting is good, please leave one line of space between each step when you are solving the practical problems. Because what happens is sometimes we commit mistakes. That's natural. But if you leave sufficient space between each step, even if you make a mistake, you can strike it out and correct it immediately below that. So that way you need not have to scratch the entire problem and redo that again. So
Yes.
leave one line space for every problem, for all the practical problems. Institute won't mind.
Okay, there's one question actually not related to accounts directly, but we'll take it. Santosh, sir, can I finish all the 7 subjects of institute material for December 18? If you are watching this video, very good. You're already all our other friends are June exam and they're watching. Your December exam, you're already ready. You're planning 100%. You can. You have like almost 7 months.
Yeah.
7 months is sufficient time.
Maybe
for
even you can
finish.
get a rank. So
Exactly, you can try for rank. You don't have to worry. So there are other requests for videos. We will be doing that. Do we get very good question, Swapnil. I told it earlier, but Vishwas will tell again.
Yeah, again,
stepwise marks do we get?
Yeah,
or straight
definitely.
away 0?
No, they will definitely. For example, I'll take up consolidation just to illustrate.
Yes.
See, consolidation has many steps. First, you'll have to prepare profit and loss account of the subsidiary company. Then you'll have to analyze the profits between pre-incorporation, post-incorporation, minority interest, cost of control, then P&L account of holding company, and finally you come to the balance sheet.
Correct.
Don't think that just by preparing the balance sheet you will get the entire marks. No. For each of one of these steps, you will get marks. That's how the marks would be allotted. So don't worry about the final answer. Maybe you have done all these steps correctly and maybe you couldn't tally the balance sheet at the end.
Correct.
Even then, you will at least get about 5 marks out of 7.
So just to, I just remembered when Vishwas was telling, same thing, consolidation, what happened in my executive exam is, I knew all the steps. So my teacher had given me a very good suggestion since he was sure I will not get the answer before the exam. So the teacher told, you make sure the person is correcting, you are demarcating the steps.
Correct,
step 1, step 2, step 3, and you write all the steps, then you do the final balance sheet. I did that. And in all the steps except 2, 3, everything was wrong. And it was a 10 marks question. But in the end, I got 52 in accounts. That means they have given me at least 3 or 4 for 10.
Yeah.
They have not given me 0. Otherwise, I can't get above 50 in accounts.
Correct.
So stepwise, you will get marks. Don't have to worry. So then, can I finish? Okay. Then who else is there? Swapnil. Can we quote shortened forms in accounts? I think shortened forms you're telling like
Debit, DR and accounts AC.
Yeah,
of course
such things you can. But suppose you want to say equity shares. ES means they will not know.
Yeah.
ES can mean many things.
Correct.
So that one you cannot. But DR and some things which are obvious, you can obviously go for it. How many papers should I write for 5 marks question in audit? How many pages?
It's difficult to say, but the thumb rule is please don't go beyond 3/4 of a page. So if you are going beyond 3/4 of a page and your handwriting is normal size, then you are writing too much.
And does it make sense to write the answer in points in auditing?
Yes, that's one good point. Because in auditing, it's better to write point wise. Please don't use paragraphs, especially lengthy sentences is a strict no. And even if you're writing short sentences, use points or bullet points or numbers, whichever.
Numbers is better. At least person is correcting. Okay, this fellow has written 7 points.
Yeah.
It may be that it is actually 4 or 5 points you are writing in other words.
Yes.
But somebody is correcting. You're written in paragraph. Then you written in points. I'm very sure the person who wrote in points the same stuff, nothing extra. They will get extra half mark or 1 mark.
Exactly, because it's easy to correct as well. If you are writing lengthy paragraphs or big paragraphs, it's very difficult to correct them. And one more thing, when it comes to differentiation questions like distinguishing between preference shares and equity shares or shares and debentures, in such kind of problems, what I would suggest is, please have 3 columns. One is the basis of difference, then topic A and topic B. So that's how you'll have to attempt. Please don't write paragraph answers for differentiation.
In fact, we discussed this even in our first live session, company law. So where you should adopt that, and it is so easy for people to give marks. There are 3 columns, point of difference and what are the 2 headings which you have to write. And also in difference between, it is like maths. If everything is correct, they have to give you 4 out of 4.
Yes.
They cannot cut marks. In paragraph means they may cut marks.
Exactly. If you get such kind of questions, please don't leave it for choice, because even in auditing there is internal choice. So it's better to pick it up.
Okay, then there is Santosh, thanks for the motivation. So we are happy you're getting motivated. We're just telling our story and also what you should follow. If that is motivating, really great news. So Vignesh, previous 5 years questions studying, any possibility of getting 50 plus marks? If he is telling he will study only past 5 papers, can he get 50? So that is Vignesh's question.
You can get marks in theory.
Theory you can.
But practicals you should have sound background, but unless you have that, it's very difficult. But if you don't have time, I would say at least go through those chapters which I mentioned.
In theory, overall it is 50 to 60 marks theory.
Yes,
right?
yes. Overall it is 50 to 60 marks. That means even in accounts they will ask at least about 25 to 30 marks.
Yes.
So that's also very important. What you can do is, for accounts theory, you can do what you suggested. That is, go through the past 5 to 6 exam papers for accounts. So maybe there will be a couple of
what I can tell one more thing from my personal experience at the time of studying before I passed. It is more of a mental block than the subject actually being so challenging.
Yes, yes.
When I cleared, I thought,
correct.
okay, I got above 15 accounts. I was thinking.
Yeah. In fact, that reminds me. Just recently the institute released the examiners' observations. They was going through the observations. It is mentioned that in accounts most people pass.
Exactly.
Most people pass, secure 40 marks easily. So
getting 50 is the challenge.
Getting 50, 60. But in other subjects, the passing percentage is very less compared to accounts.
Yes.
So it's just the perception rather than the reality.
Harish Shanbog, ESOS and ESOP in accounts is important or not?
Again, it's a very minor topic compared to the entire syllabus. So if you have already touched upon it, I can suggest go and revise it. If not, maybe you can concentrate on the important ones.
Considering we have only this many days for exam, so if you watch this video for December, people,
then everything is important.
Everything is important. Now, what can we do in the next 1 week to somehow pass? That is the intention of this video, the live session. So our past question papers repeated.
Yes, theory questions will be repeated.
Okay.
But we cannot say the same with regard to practical. For example, recently, in the last attempt, the institute asked consolidation question based on P&L. Usually they will ask consolidated balance sheet. This time they asked the students to prepare consolidated profit and loss statement. Of course, if you had gone through the study material, you would have been easily able to answer that, because the question was based on the question which was already there in the study material. So it is always advisable to go through the study material once.
Yeah. Important chapters from the point of view of theory.
Again, the same thing, auditing theory. I would say,
so 30 marks direct theory.
Exactly. So concentrate on the auditing, then first, second and fifth chapter in auditing. So first, second and third, fourth and fifth are not so important. 6 chapters, sorry.
Yeah.
So those 3 chapters should be more than sufficient to cover at least about 60% of the marks.
And in the accounts
for
theory,
share capital.
Okay, so share capital
and company accounts. Share capital and company accounts, if you can cover those 2 for theory.
Many of the theory questions will come from those
2 chapters.
Okay. Swapnil Takhar. It's a long question. Sir, I am only left with accounts in the executive level. Is it possible to score 50 plus in accounts? I am left with 2 theoretical chapters in auditing and accounts. Theory is still pending. Practical done.
Congratulations, first of all, because if practical is done,
that is the core.
Then you don't have much work to do. You just have to study theory.
And one more thing, you don't have a choice. You have to score 50 and above.
Yeah, exactly.
So you go in a frame of mind where you can.
Yeah, I think you can. If practical is covered, you can easily score above 50 and concentrate on the theory, auditing theory. I'm sure you should be able to get more than 60.
Sir, which practicals we should cover in less time? I think it is the same thing, but we'll again repeat those 4 chapters name if you can tell them.
Yeah.
Which
Once again,
chapters?
Consolidation, corporate restructuring, debentures, valuation.
Yes. Can you prepare video on consolidation? Actually, we have a video. There is a video Vishwas has made. How to solve consolidation problem.
So we'll upload it shortly.
Yeah, and also there's one video you have made about how to solve a consolidation problem in 3 minutes.
Yes, that is also
So that video will put a link in the description. You can watch that. So how to revise the subject 1 day before exam? I'm giving both the groups.
1 day before exam,
we can address for accounts. Then we can make one more video.
Again, it depends on what kind of notes you have prepared, because 1 day to go through the entire syllabus in 1 day, it would be highly difficult. It depends on.
I think we should ask the question: how is your preparation? Because 1 day before exam, if you prepared very well, like in yesterday's live session, I told a story of one of my teacher who studied 1 year. So 1 day before exam, she went for movie. That is her preparation style. But if you are depending on what is your level, I think only then we can give a specific answer to you.
Correct. Yes.
That will be a thing to take. So Jyoti Kohli, again you have joined us, I think, for all the sessions. So thank you. Sir, I tried last 3-year paper, but every time I got only 40 to 50, and there is always occurring mistake in practical questions. How to increase the marks?
Jyoti, I would say that your case is far better than the rest of the students because you are getting at least 40 to 50. What you have to do is concentrate on couple of, maybe I don't know in which practical questions you are getting less marks, but at least your basics are very strong if you are able to get 40-50 consistently. I would say go through those 4 chapters which I mentioned. Make sure that you perfect the answers, because only by practicing again and again you can make sure that your answers are correct. So if you can do that, that should be able, that should be more than sufficient.
Okay. Sahiti T, there's a account. Sir, can we prepare based on previous paper? Like previous paper, if they asked purchase consideration in net assets method, so they may not ask again same question.
For example, if they have asked the same question in December, they may not repeat the same in June. Obviously not. For example, a consolidated P&L was asked in December. They may not ask the same consolidated P&L in June. Maybe sometime later they might ask, but that's why I said if you are preparing based on the previous year examination questions, at least go through about 5 to 6 papers. So that way you cover a wide range of questions.
Okay, fine, great. So they're asking when is the tax live session, that we will know. For tax also Vishwas is the thing, so we'll let you know soon when we will have the tax live session. So we are going to have a tax live session also. So that is one question. That is Karthik, Karthik also you have been joining us, so great. Yes, so I think what are the Nana Saheb Jadhav, what are the chances of theory in this attempt? What I think we have addressed that already. And some more people, which is the important in theory? Now I'll only tell you for auditing chapter 1, 2 and 6. So many times you are asking, that is very important in auditing. Okay, then I think everything we have covered. And very great that all of you have joined. So we really enjoyed this session which is relating to accounts, and we got very good questions and many questions we got. So very soon we will be telling you what is the date for the tax session. Then we'll also tell you the date for ILGL session also we are going to have, that is for module 2 students. We'll let you know. And professional students, many of them, they were disappointed we didn't have, but we'll have professional for few subjects we'll have for professional also. So thanks a lot for joining us, and do join us for other live sessions. Apart from that, subscribe to Ekcel Academy to do well in your company secretary course. So now we will be closing this session. See you soon.
Thank you. All the best.